Hello, fellow teachers. Let's look at 2 Nephi 26. This is a precursor to the doctrinal mastery lesson that comes next on 2 Nephi 26:33, that all are alike unto God. And so we're preparing with some doctrine for that. I think our purpose statement really gives us an order that is going to be helpful throughout this lesson. This lesson is intended to help you see, that comes first, and that's where we'll focus. Love and treat others as God does. So if we can help students see others the way God does, we will naturally or automatically want to treat and love others the way that God treats and loves others. And so seeing is going to be a theme that I think we can ride throughout the lesson and give it a great sense of purpose. So as you can see, we're going to start with the idea of seeing others, and there's some cool pictures, colorful. These could be copied and pasted into a PowerPoint, but if you know me, I'm going to have more fun as a teacher if I can get students up front and having fun instead of just having a fun visual. So we have this alternative idea. Rather than displaying the following pictures, you can bring in different types of glasses for students to try on and then discuss how each changes their vision and perspective. If you're like me, sometimes these ideas sound like a lot of work, so I wanted to just show you an easy way to do this. I thought I'm just going to look around my office and find junk. Now, I'm a teacher, so I do collect a little bit of a junk. I do have my own reading glasses, so you could get reading glasses, but we just want a couple pairs of glasses or something. I actually have some very thick lenses that I've used as a teacher in the past, that if you put them on, they kind of make me sick. They're so bad. Those could be fun. But we don't all have glasses sitting around, so anything that we could look through. So here's a piece of plastic. You could get saran wrap, something that you could sort of see through. I had these little glass squares. You can have students put those up to their eye, but you're just going to have a couple students come up with things that kind of impair, but you can see through. Maybe have them look at a quote on the wall. Not extra work. That's what I'm trying to say. Try to make it simple. No extra work, but kind of fun. So a couple students are going to try to read something through their glasses and just have an experience where we're talking about how our vision can be impaired. We don't see things clearly. We have different lenses. And we're discussing and establishing that reality that there are things that affect our vision. And then we can just kind of conclude this portion with the fact that none of us see completely clearly. At this point, I'd make one addition that is not in the manual. My favorite entry in the Bible dictionary is under repentance. I might invite students to turn to that and to have them just look at the first line and say, what does the word repentance, see if you can find how the word repentance deals with or relates to vision. Or what is the word in this that reminds you of vision, a fresh view. So repentance means coming to see clearly God, ourselves, and others. And so this lesson is really about repentance. And so this is one way to be Christ-centered. At the very beginning of our lesson, establish that we see differently, but Jesus helps to clear our vision and heal our vision. If you wanted, you can turn to President Nelson's talk in 2019, We Can Do Better and Be Better, where he talks about the same idea, the Greek word metanoeo, which means you've got all kinds of things, but to change our mind, our knowledge, our spirit. The fresh view really is found most clearly in this Bible dictionary entrance under repentance, though. We're then going to go to 2 Nephi 26 and suggest that Nephi is going to help us understand more clearly how God sees. And then we can learn something from that. So we've got these verses. These are the verses to search right here. It's kind of long, and so I might suggest breaking it up a little bit. The little call-out box says, give students plenty of time to mark words and phrases, and I would encourage some marking. In fact, here's what I'd do with this. You got these three great questions. How does God see and feel about his children? How does he demonstrate this? And how does he want us to see and treat others? If you give students all these verses in three questions at the get-go, it might be a little bit too much. It might not, but you'll be able to decide with your students. But I can see breaking this down and saying, here are the verses, and you write them on the board, and then you just put this one question. And to help them use digital scriptures, you can say, let's have you, I'm going to give you 90 seconds. Would you underline in blue every answer that you can find to this question. How does God see and feel about his children? And just do the one question at a time. And then share some answers. That's great. Oh, I love that. Why did you pick that? That's wonderful. And then say, okay, we're going to take 90 more seconds. This time, you're going to mark in yellow everything that answers this question. How does God demonstrate how he feels about his children? Just mark that. And so you'd write that on the board so they can know it. And you can pick whatever colors or have students pick their own colors. But we're having them practice mark things in different colors and focusing on one question at a time. I think they could really dig out a lot of wonderful principles from those verses if you parse it out a little bit that way. Ultimately, after discussing everything, you'll want to hit that this verse 33 is our doctrinal mastery. Mark it the way you do that, and let's underline it. But the rest of our lesson, we're going to focus on all are alike unto God, and to make sure that's clear. There's wonderful resources. I might recommend one more. You've got lots of supplemental material down here. My family has watched this a few times and enjoyed it. It's a little cartoony version from Elder Holland's talk about songs sung and unsung. But it shows a bunch of different birds that look and sound significantly different. And so you can use this as a case study to say, I want you to see how everybody is the same in this video. And so it's a little counterintuitive. I think it's fun. It's got some humor in it, but it could be a fun way to kind of reiterate that even though we have differences, that we're all the same and we all have value. We're all alike unto God. And you might want to end where we started with looking at how we see a little bit differently and just asking students how seeing others impacts the way you love and treat others. And why is it that when we see them differently, like God does, we love and treat them differently? I think this is going to be a fun lesson, a great preparation to an important doctrinal principle in verse 33. You're going to do wonderfully. Thanks for all that you do.